Senator Ron Johnson apparently didn't really see what occurred in the nation's capital on January 6th, because during a recent local interview with a radio station in Wisconsin, he seemed to be completely delusional about the events of that day. And what we did is provide some video footage to help him understand what actually did happen when it came to those insurrectionists rioting in the nation's capital. Let's take a look.
The group of people that supported Trump, the hundreds of thousands of people that attend those Trump rallies, those are people that love this country, that never would have done what happened on January 6th, which is why I was not concerned. Okay? Yep. That is a group of people that love freedom. One thing, and this will get me in trouble, but I don't care. Again, I condemn what happened. I mean, it was reprehensible. Never should have happened. But there were groups of agitators that were the tip of the spear that caused that. Not the tens of thousands of Trump supporters who would never even contemplate that. The fact of the matter is, this didn't seem as like an armed insurrection to me. I mean, armed. When you hear of armed, don't you think of firearms? Mm-hmm. Here's questions I would have liked to ask: how many firearms were confiscated? How many shots were fired? I'm only aware of one. And I'll defend that law enforcement officer for taking that shot. It was a tragedy, okay? But I think there was only one. Mm-hmm. If that was a planned armed insurrection, man, you're really a bunch of idiots.
Well, look, I mean, as a United States Senator, you would expect Ron Johnson to be fully informed on the events of that day. But apparently, since he felt the need to call others who are actually informed about the events of that day idiots, let me help him catch up. Let's get him up to speed on the reality of that day. You saw some of that footage, but also when it comes to firearms, weapons, things like that, multiple individuals who have been arrested in connection to the siege have been charged with unlawful possession of firearms. So there were people there who were armed. One of those individuals allegedly had 11 Molotov cocktails stored in his van. I'm sure he did that just for fun. He wasn't, planning to use it during these riots. Authorities also found pipe bombs planted near the Democratic and Republican Party headquarters. So just, a bunch of innocent activity, I guess, on January 6th, according to Senator Johnson. Additionally, several members of the Oath Keepers militia group who were at the insurrection have been indicted, I should say, have been indicted on conspiracy charges. And let me just also add that while Donald Trump encouraged the rioters to do what they did that day, arguing that they should fight like hell during the rally that preceded the riots, he's not really suffering the consequences of his actions. He said he was gonna march to the Capitol with them to engage in what they did. All of these people who have been identified as breaching the Capitol building, being in the Capitol building, being part of these riots, they're facing criminal federal charges right now. Okay, while Donald Trump literally abandoned them and walked back to the White House and just chilled while they were engaging in that criminality that they're now gonna suffer criminal consequences for. So Ron Johnson is just such an utter clown, and it's beyond pathetic for him to make those kinds of statements, minimizing what occurred that day.
You know what? White supremacy is gonna do what white supremacy does. We keep calling it an insurrection. We talk of a breach on the Capitol, an attack on American freedom. And we continue to dismiss the language that says that these people are white supremacists. You know why they don't care about the lost lives, whether there were firearms or not? There were lost lives, American lives. But the reason that they don't matter is because those people are either Black or poor, or a combination of the two. Or they're the officers, those are blue collar workers in this country, and they are disposable and to the powers that be. And that is why I always say that when it comes to law enforcement, is that, go ahead, say it.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I wanna just add to that, Aida. Cops in America are used as political props for the right wing.
Absolutely.
Because when a cop gets murdered by one of their own, they minimize it, they don't care. But when they can use cops for political props to push their white supremacy, they're all for it. That's all I wanted to add to that.
And that's 100, right? That's what we're saying, right? That that's why it doesn't matter. Like, it was minimal. It didn't mean anything to him. But then I look at the people who put that man in office and keep him there, right? Because he doesn't care about law enforcement. He doesn't care about Black people. He doesn't care about his fellow Republicans, because everyone was in danger that day, not just Democrats, because that could have gone terribly awry. When things like that happen, no matter who's targeted, it can just go left at any moment, as it did. He doesn't care about women. He only cares about himself and whatever he's trying to preserve by holding on to Donald Trump's nutsack, right? So I don't know if I can say that, but maybe I shouldn't have said it. But what I'm saying,
no, FCC allows nutsack, so yes.
Okay, so the fact that this man is saying this and trying to minimize what happened, because he's okay. He came out okay. The security buttons in his office were not taken down. He wasn't afraid that they were coming for him, because he is a reflection of them. So of course it was nothing, because he didn't feel threatened by that moment. He wasn't a target at that moment. He can go on with his good life and not even care about any of those people. Off with their heads, send them off to jail. They don't matter. Those cops that risked their lives, that Black dude who saved Mitt Romney's life, like, they don't matter. They are disposable. And this is why it is important for the people that are below the line. I keep saying this, using this Hollywood term: police officers, teachers, firefighters, everybody that's below the line, to find some solidarity, because we are just pawns in the game to these people. They don't care about us. So this dude, clown 100%. But you know what? He is a clown that gets a paycheck that is funded by the people. He is going to work based on the dollars that are provided to him, the privilege that he has, that he gets paid during the pandemic when we don't. He sits there and deliberates whether we get to eat during this time, and the people continue to vote these people in. And that is why we need people like Nina Turner. Oh my, Nina Turner. I'm so angry. We need Tina Turner too, though. But we need Nina Turner in, and people like that out, because they don't care about us. They don't care about any of us. And white people suffer the most, because they actually think that these people really care about them because they're white. And they don't realize that you're just this disposable dude. Those people that got played on January 6th, they got played. They're gonna go to jail. They're gonna suffer the consequences. And they are going to be something that Donald Trump refers to as his sacrificial lambs. The people who loved him so much because he's a narcissist. They loved me so much, they gave up their freedom for me. He's not gonna bail them out. He ain't gonna provide them with legal. And he's not going to visit them, because they're nothing to him.
Well, just to quote Donald Trump, losers and suckers.
Suckers is correct. They fell for his hustle.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. We really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.